now we have a new one, baby. Let's go.
I'm sorry, wait, who are you? Captain America.
Thank God I was not disappointed by this show. This time, it followed through to the end, unlike WandaVision's shit final episode, in my opinion.
Boner.
I am Vision.
This fucking 6-hour movie kicked absolute ass. Mostly. Bucky and Falcon are both portrayed by another pair of unusually attractive actors perfectly. Sebastian Stan is probably the highlight, but Anthony Mackie is just as goddamn good. I mean, mixed with the writing, as I said, these characters are so great. Marvel woke up, and when they decided to make the show, they chose tears for the fans. By the end of the show, I was on the verge of tears. It was so well done, and I've seen so much praise for Sebastian Stan, and it is more than deserved, but I've seen the lack of it for Anthony Mackie, and he really deserves it as well, in my opinion. The show was definitely like an epilogue to Endgame in specifically Captain America's legacy. And that's not to say it wasn't its own thing, it definitely was. But with the Cap legacy having such a big part to play in it, which I think was absolutely the right thing to do, considering Sam and Bucky's relationship with Steve, it does feel like that. And I mean that as a compliment. I mean, because really, Endgame and Infinity War, the course of those two movies, are events more than movies, honestly. The MCU has really become its own universe now, and I've seen the argument many times that these two movies, Endgame in particular, they are events. It should have lasting consequences. Infinity War and Endgame takes place over 5 years, and I mean that is massive shit. Anyone who watched the show presumably hated this one character named John Walker.
I lived my life by your mandates. I dedicated my life to your mandates.
I am Captain America.
Not anymore.
Full credit to Wyatt Russell for his amazing performance. He was written well as well. Like, I understood all of his actions, I understood his views. I mean, you could tell that John tries to be a good Captain America, but goddamn, I hated his guts. He was just one of those smug characters. He's just one of those unlikable ones, and I think it was apparent that that was the intention. He was meant to be one of those unlikable characters. When we see him kill one of the Flag Smashers, it is such a shocking fucking moment. And then the following episode where Sam and Bucky absolutely beat the living shit out of him. Oh my god, that was one of the most satisfying moments I've had from a piece of media in a long time.
It's over, John. It's mine.
He gets some time in the last episode for redemption, and it was great. Despite his unlikability throughout the entire show, I still understood his character, and he was well written. Like all good villains, you understand. He wasn't necessarily the overall antagonist. There was more Kari and the Flag Smashers, but yeah, he was obviously supposed to be unlikable, taking up this mantle of Captain America, someone who just shouldn't be Captain America. But I understood everywhere he came from, and I'm very excited to see where he goes next, because it seems like they're setting him up as US agent person. I don't know who he is on the comics, but from that final costume and that stuff with Val, I am very excited. On the whole, this show was a great show, and it surprisingly tackled with real world issues in an incredibly inspiring way. The story with Isaiah and Sam choosing finally to take on the role of Cap was executed and acted and written so well. Like I said, Marvel chose tears, and I was very emotional by the end of this show. Holy shit, man. It ain't perfect. I mean, Zemo is fun, but he is as useless as a flaccid penis to a horny woman. He really doesn't need to be there at all, I think. He doesn't do much. I mean, I guess he does some stuff with Bucky's character, but yeah, I mean, like I said, he was funny, but not really necessary in the plot and the story. Also, the overall plot with the power broker and everything, I'm kind of confused what that kind of was, and I do intend to go back and watch it, because it's more than possible I did just miss some stuff, but yeah, at least at this moment in time, I'm not really sure what that really had to do with anything, other than the kind of shock with Sharon at the end. I mean, like I said, I could be being a fucking dumbass, and it could have been explained properly, but yeah. Also, within some of the earlier episodes, there was some real forced comedy. It felt. It didn't feel like that later on. Mainly in the first 2 or maybe 3, I think there was some, but yeah, for the rest of it, it really didn't feel forced at all. It felt natural, and it was funny, because there was some really fucking funny stuff when I was genuinely laughing.
Hello, girl, kick your ass.
So we all want to save Daredevil, anyone who's seen it and seen those Netflix Marvel shows, and everyone wants to see them come back. And I've said it before, and I will say it again, and I will continue to say it. All of the Marvel Netflix shows, all of them, were the best thing to come out of the MCU.
This is a joke.
This is still a far fucking cry from the level of some of those Netflix shows, but it's like, it's got a similar foundation. It's going in that direction. Grounded stories, characters at the heart, grounded, heartfelt, good, impactful violence. It felt like it was going in that direction, and I think that's a great thing. I fucking love this show. I was hesitant in the first 3 episodes probably, because it didn't feel like, it just felt like more MCU stuff, and I wasn't really interested. But thankfully, the character work and the plot, which was less investing as I would have liked it to be, admittedly. Although, that being said, Kari was a fucking phenomenal character, one of my favourite villains in the MCU, I have to say. I absolutely loved her. The only problem with the Flag Smashers, really, is that their plan seemed to change from every episode, but realistically, Kari as a character and their overall, their general goal, I completely understand, and I loved it. At the end, where we see Isaiah get the statue, and we see Sam give that speech, was probably my biggest fucking highlight, because that was so good. And by the way, that suit, that fucking suit, baby, it is so good. It is so fucking good. This show looked great. It was so good. I mean, the CGI was just kind of typical Marvel CGI, kind of tame, but then when we had practical stuff and like the suits and shit, like, it's so nice to see a suit like that and not overblown with CGI. It's so nice. Like, it's just great, man. This show was genuinely really good. Don't listen to me. Fuck me and fuck my opinion. Shove it up your ugly ass. Go and watch the show yourself and make up your own opinion.